regular meeting for June 27th, 2017. If everyone would please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance at the flag and remain standing for the invocation. Ready, begin. I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Here's a thought for us all. Work like you don't need the money, love like you've never been hurt, and dance like no one is watching. Let's pray. Most gracious Father, we thank you for the opportunity to gather to do the business of our community. We pray your blessings on this meeting in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen. Amen. Could we have roll call, please?
Councilor McDonald?
Here.
Graham?
Here.
Candia? Day?
Here.
Mayor Martino?
Here. 5, declaration of conflict of interest.
I have none.
Being none tonight. And tonight, ceremonial matters. We have 3 tonight. And so we're going to start off with Disabilities Awareness Month. And if Carolyn Texera Gomes would come up to the podium, we will present her with, if I get the right one, if I get the wrong one, you'll be PG&E. Okay, whereas the City Council of the City of Newman have recognized healthy communities as priority, and whereas disabilities can affect all people, regardless of race, age, gender, or social status, and the essence of life is not embodied by physical or mental perfection, but as an integral part of the human spirit. And whereas increased public awareness about diverse abilities is vital to fighting the stigma and discrimination that often serves as a banner to employment, socialization, individual well-being, and whereas there are estimated 4,158,400 people with disabilities in the state of California and over 71,640 people over the age of 5 with disabilities in Stanislaus County. And whereas the next year, at least 1 out of 8 Californians will experience a disability personally or through a family member. And whereas the City of Newman wants to celebrate and recognize people and different abilities, and whereas people with different abilities are independent, productive, and part of the community, and whereas education, understanding, access, engagement, and relationships are important components of connecting, livability, and healthy communities, and whereas communities thrive excuse me, when residents appreciate the unique gift inside people of all abilities, and whereas by developing relationships with our neighbors, we make our community a better place where everyone participates in as a valued member. And whereas the Society of Disabilities will commemorate June 2017 and each June thereafter as Disability Awareness Month. Now, therefore, I, Bob Martina, Mayor, on behalf of the Newman City Council, do hereby proclaim this month of June as Disability Awareness Month in the City of Newman and urge all citizens to become aware of the needs and capabilities of persons with disability.
Thank you so much.
Okay.
I'll talk really quickly.
Do you take all night?
Oh, all night, okay. Oh, why? Mayor, City of Newman, thank you. On behalf of the 71,640 people in Stanislaus County with a disability, thank you. This year, the Society for Disabilities is celebrating their 70-year anniversary of enhancing the quality of life for people with disabilities. Through our durable medical equipment loan closet, we actually started because of polio. Because when polio was around 70 years ago, it's not like you had a durable medical equipment and insurance on every corner. And now we've evolved to be more social, recreational, educational programs for people with disabilities today. I like to think that our organization creates smiles. Smiles happen at our prom, as well as our adaptive sports program. not just on the faces of our participants, but on the faces of our participants' family. Mainly because most parents that have a child with a disability never thought their child would go to the prom, or that they would water ski, or that they would play organized baseball. We also, by the way, people smile when they get a hospital bed or a bedside commode, just to let you know that one. For 6 years, we've been celebrating Disabilities Awareness Month. Please like our Facebook page. Go into our album for Disabilities Awareness Month, and you will see wonderful quotes such as, "Normal is just a dryer setting." We're also going to post our picture that we're going to take tonight in front of your sign, because the entire county does Disabilities Awareness Month, and we're very pleased to be part of that. So on behalf of the over 70,000 with a disability, we greatly appreciate the proclamation and helping to increase awareness about people with disabilities and their capabilities. And here at the Society for Disabilities, we want to remind you that people with disabilities are just like you. Thank you, and I'm ready for our picture. You ready?
I'm ready.
Okay.
Where would you like it, up front?
In front of the sign.
We're well protected as officers tonight, have you noticed?
I see that.
Yeah.
I wasn't going to speak, really. Come closer to you, so I'm not going to... Everybody speak. I can't speak because everybody's...
She's taking the picture. Oh, I'm sorry.
She's
with
him.
What person was there?
in the back.
Okay.
Okay, you know, it's always great to see the council chamber full of people. It's better than when we look out there and we don't see anyone, so thanks everyone for being here tonight. I know you're all here for different reasons, but it's great to have you. Okay, we're going to do PG&E, and we've got, Thomas Reeves, and if we'd go to the podium, and also Stephanie House. Would you come up, Stephanie? And we're going to make this presentation. Hello. I was telling Thomas earlier, there's a lot of things in Newman that PG&E is responsible for as far as how they've helped the city. I always think of the theater because it was one of the things that PG&E brought forward, you know, and they have, if I don't know if you go down there, you can see, there's a sign up there that says PG&E, so we're grateful for all the things you do for our city. Okay, whereas the City Council recognizes the value of community amenities that promote positive and desirable community qualities of life and environment, and whereas the 2030 General Plan adopted goals RCR-1 to establish and maintain a system of public parks, open spaces, and recreation facilities suited to the needs of Newman residents. And whereas the city has actively pursued park developments to meet community needs as the city grows. And whereas Pacific Gas and Electric Company is a company that supplies electrical and gas power resources to meet the needs of Newman's residents. And whereas the Pacific Gas and Electric Company also committed to local grant making to ensure that neighborhoods they share with their customers are great places to live, work, and play. And whereas the Pacific Gas and Electric Company since 2013 has contributed financial support to the city of Newman in a total amount of $10,000 to help fund the Newman Gate Plaza project. Now therefore it be resolved that the city of Newman Council hereby acknowledges the partnership, the commitments, and the financial contributions from the Pacific Gas and Electric Company to support the Newman Skate Plaza project. Furthermore, where it is not for the grants such as these received from the Pacific Gas and Electric Company, the Newman Skate Plaza would not have been a reality. Therefore, I, Robert Martina, Mayor, on behalf of the great city of Newman, hereby express its sincerest gratitude to the Pacific Gas and Electric for its contributions to the community. Dated this day, 27th day of June 2017. Thank you.
I just wanted to say thank you to Thomas. He's worked with me over the last 5 years, 4, in contributing annually to our project and encouraging us to build something for the kids. And I don't know if anyone's been out there, but the kids have been using it quite dramatically, and they're extremely grateful not only to PG&E but council for supporting it also. Thank you.
Well, I just want to say thanks. This is a great honor. I love being here in the great city of Newman, and it's exciting to see little projects. Little projects maybe for a company that's based out of San Francisco, but a huge project for the city. And so it's exciting that we can put Newman on the map in such a big company like PG&E. And I'm going to look for more ways of doing that. So help me. Let's partner together to look for more ways that we can make Newman on the radar of a company like PG&E. So thanks for this. I appreciate it. It's good to see you all, and I look forward to more great projects.
Great. It only gets better.
Always.
Can I have a quick word?
Tonight we have the honor of,
Mayor,
I'm sorry.
may I have a quick word and just to mention Stephanie House, the tremendous work that she has been doing with Park and Rec, and just want to share my gratitude in terms of your service. Thank you so much. You've made an impact and a difference for the city of Newman in terms of our youth with Park and Rec. Thank you for your service.
Thank you, sir. With that, the chief is now going to pin new officer, Sarah Breyer.
Sarah, come on up. It's my pleasure to introduce to you tonight Sarah Breyer. Sarah grew up in the city of Turlock and graduated from Turlock High School. She then went on to get her bachelor's degree at DeVry University in criminal justice. Some of you might remember she was hired by the city of Newman in 2015 as a CSO/evidence clerk. And shortly after that, she joined the police academy at San Joaquin Delta College. Upon graduation of the police academy in July of 2016, she was picked up by the city of Gustine as a full-time police officer. We won't hold that against her. So she's coming home. It didn't take her long down there to realize that, up north, 4 miles is always better. So we are grateful to have her. We want to welcome her home, and we look forward to a lot of good things and good service from you. So you ready to do the oath?
Yes, sir.
All right. Please raise your right hand. I state your name, do solemnly swear
I, Sarah Breyer, do solemnly swear
that I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States
that I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of California
and the Constitution of the State of California
against all enemies, foreign and domestic,
against all enemies, foreign and domestic,
and I will bear true faith and allegiance
and I will bear true faith and allegiance
to the Constitution of the State, or the Constitution of the United States
to the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of California,
and the Constitution of the State of California,
that I take this obligation freely
that I take this obligation freely
without any mental reservation or purpose of evasion,
without any mental reservation or purpose of evasion,
and that I will well and faithfully
and I will well and faithfully
discharge the duties of which I'm about to enter.
discharge the duties about which I'm about to enter.
Congratulations.
Thank you, sir.
Joining Sarah tonight and going to do the badge pinning, I'm going to introduce everybody, but her mom, Barbara Breyer, is going to do the badge pinning. We'll go up front for that here in a second. But also joining her is her aunt and uncle, Gay and Tom Locke, aunt and uncle, Sue and Richard Caro, cousin Lindsay, and her friend, Gabby Becker. So are we ready to move on, do the badge pinning? All right, here we go. We're going to go front. You got to stand in front of the badge.
Congratulations.
Congratulations. Welcome.
Yeah, we're gonna take a break. We're gonna take a long break. Well, I'm the mayor, I can do it. No, we're gonna take a break, so everyone. Item 7, items from the public is a non-agenda items. If anyone has anything they'd like to bring before the council, now would be the time to do it. And we'd like to limit you to 3 minutes unless the council will give you more time. So if you go up to the podium and state your name and address, sir.
Hello, my name is Amir Sandoval. I live at 908 Tivoli Drive here in Newman, which is one of the newly built townhouses in the Sherman Villas. The reason I am here today is to ask to have a no parking sign removed from Hills Ferry Road. The sign is located right in front of my house. Because the way the new townhouses have been built, the front door to my house is on Hills Ferry Road, and the no parking between 2 and 5 a.m. sign prevents me from parking in front of my house. I would like to keep the no truck parking sign up to prevent trucks from parking there.
Okay, we can't take any action tonight, but
Well,
Can-
once the police chief and I will take a look at that and bring that back to you for consideration. It will take a council action to remove any of those signs,
okay.
so.
Did you say you wanted to keep it there
No,
so
there-
trucks won't park there?
There are two signs. There's one sign that says no truck parking.
Okay.
And there's another sign that says no parking from 2 a.m. to 5 a.m.
You'd like to keep the truck
Yes.
so trucks won't block your front of your
Correct.
house,
Yes, sir.
but the no parking so you can park personal vehicles. Okay.
We'll take a look at it then.
Okay.
We'll take a look at it, sir.
Okay, thank you.
We're good at that.
Thank you.
Thank you very much for coming forward. Anyone else like to speak to the council? Okay, we're going to move on to item 8, which is consent calendar. A, waive all readings of ordinance and resolution except by title. B, approval of warrants. C, approval of minutes of the May 23rd, 2017 meeting. D, adopt resolution number 2007, next number, a resolution approving amendments to the joint power agreement of the Stanislaus County of Governments. E, approve a request from the City of Gustine for a donation to fireworks show.
I move that we approve the consent calendar as read.
Second. Motion been made and second. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Motion carried with 4 and 1 absent. 9 is public hearing. A is adopt resolution number 2017, next number, a resolution declaring the existence of a public nuisance under ordinance number 95-4.
Good evening, Mayor and council members. Before you is a nuisance abatement. Of the 3 identified properties on the abatement list, the property at 1147 N Street has been resolved, so we're pulling that off of the list. We are proceeding with the abatement of 907 Fig Lane and 1939 L Street. Newman City Code 8.02030 states that no responsible party shall permit public nuisances of any kind. Both properties qualify as such. We're familiar with the Fig Lane property, so this is the photos there. Just overgrown, needs to be cleaned up. And then on L Street, it's an open lot that also needs to be cleaned up, and also with the 4th of July coming up and all this dry weeds, that's a potential fire hazard. Appropriate notices have been sent to property owners notifying of tonight's public hearing. The abatement of said nuisances enhances the livability and community appearance of Newman. Therefore, staff recommends that the City Council conduct the public hearing and adopt Resolution 2017 next to number. I'm happy to answer any questions.
Any questions for Stephanie? Okay. There being no questions, this is a public hearing, so I'm going to open it up to the community if they want to address this problem. There being no one, then I bring it back to the council for direction.
I move that we adopt resolution 2017, next number, a resolution declaring the existence of a public nuisance under ordinance number 95-4 with the removed properties.
I second that.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried 4 with 1 absent. Thank you, Stephanie. Item B, adopt resolution number 2017, next number, a resolution of the City Council of the City of Newman, California, confirming the assessment and ordering the levy for the lighting and landscaping maintenance district for fiscal year 2017-2018. Kasun.
Yeah, good evening, City Mayor and council members. Under the Landscape and Lighting Act of 1972, the City Council adopted a resolution initiating proceedings for the levy and collection of assessment on April 11, 2017, and the Council adopted two resolutions approving the annual report and conducting a public hearing for fiscal year 2017-18 on May 23, 2017. So the last step in the process is the City Council to conduct a public hearing to confirm the assessment and order the levy for LLD. City staff recommends City Council hold a public hearing and adopt a resolution confirming the assessment and ordering the levy for LLD for fiscal year 2017 and 18. I can answer to any question you may have.
Any questions? There being no questions, I'll open it up to anyone in the audience that'd like to speak to the adopt. There being no one, I'll bring it back to council for direction.
Move we adopt resolution number 2017, next in number, a resolution of the City Council of the City of Newman, California, confirming the assessment and ordering the levy for lighting and landscape maintenance district for the fiscal year 2017-2018.
I'll second it.
Okay, we have a motion been made and seconded. All in favor say aye.
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 Opposed? Motion carried with 4 and 1 absent. Thank you
Thank
very
you.
much, Kasun. 10, regular business. A, approve fiscal year 2017-2018 annual budget as presented in the preliminary budget document. 1, I, adopt resolution. No, we take these one at a time. Adopt resolution number 2000, next number, a resolution adopting the budget for the fiscal year 2018.
Good evening, Mayor, council members. We had a wonderful workshop earlier, got to talk about our budget. The three resolutions that's on here, the first one is the GAN appropriation limit. What this is back in '79, then again in 1990, the government set a maximum limit that each agency can appropriate as far as taxes. The calculated limit changes based on income levels and population. And over the years, it's always continued to grow. Our current budget amount that we're requesting this year is about $8 million under this calculated maximum that we could ever get. So the GAN limit is not really going to affect us, but we do need to adopt it each year. So that's the first resolution. I don't know if you want to adopt, I could talk about each one as we go, or...
I would say go ahead and cover all three of them, and then we'll take it one by one.
Okay,
as far
great. The second resolution is the resolution to adopt the budget that we presented earlier tonight in the workshop. The third one, if we adopt the budget tonight, the second resolution, we do not need to adopt the third one. That one is just a continuance of operations. So if for some reason you decide not to adopt the budget tonight, we do need to adopt the other one, so we have the authority to make payments going into the next fiscal year up until we have our next council meeting. So I'd be happy to answer any questions you have on there.
No, good job on the presentation earlier.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
You always put a good packet together.
Okay, then, one would be adopt resolution number 2000, next number, resolution adopting the budget for fiscal year 2018.
Okay, you bring it back to us?
Pardon?
You brought it back to us?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I move that we adopt resolution 2017, next number, a resolution adopting the budget for the fiscal year 2017-2018.
I'll second.
Okay, the second, we have a adoption. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Measure carried 4, 1 absent. I'm sorry. And the next one is adopt resolution number 2000, next number, a resolution establishing appropriation limits for fiscal year 2017-2018.
I move that we adopt resolution number 2017, next to number, a resolution establishing the appropriations limits for fiscal year 2017-2018.
I'll second.
Okay, motion is made and second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carried 4, 1 absent. And the last one we did.
We don't need.
Yeah, but that's one we don't need
Third one.
because the other two passed. Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you, Lou. Okay. Regular business. B, report on 2017 Fall Festival.
Well, now that the money's out of the way, it's time for some fun. Good evening, Mayor, council members. Tonight's a report on the Newman Fall Festival for 2017. It is scheduled to be the same pretty much as it has been the last years. There will be routine street closures around the park, with the earliest being R Street, and that's scheduled for Wednesday the 30th. That's where the carnival will be set up. Fresno Street and Q Street will be closed for the weekend, with Tulare Street only closed on Sunday for the car show. There are some events that have been in the past and they will continue this time around that may have potential impacts for traffic and the such, and that'll be the Little Miss and Mr. Newman contest on Thursday at the West Side Theater. That is on August 31st. The Bailey's Legacy Fun Run would be Saturday morning, and that's a 5K that traverses the west side of the city. That would start at 8 a.m. on Saturday the 2nd. And the Evening Under the Stars, and I'll call it the Wine and Cheese forever, will be a Friday night at the Plaza, and that will have security at that event as well. The Fall Festival has asked for the following downtown standards to be waived for the Evening Under the Stars events, and that would be the day of operation, the hours of operation, the music hours of operation, waive the cleanup deposit of $1,000, waive ordinance 9.01.021, which is drinking in public, waive the electrical and restroom use fees, and waive the glass cup and bottle usage standard. All other standards for downtown events would apply for this event. Event organizers will have a site plan for the event, and that will have security at the entrance and the restroom exit. And I believe that's 4 individuals in there for the security. They'll have security fencing around the entire event, which has that privacy screen in there so that people can't stand there and stare through the fencing in there. The Fall Festival has secured their $3 million insurance and liability policy, which names the city as an additional insured. The organizing committee is requesting city services for the park, Public Works, to help clean up the park in the days prior to get the lawn, the sprinklers turned off and such like that. Other requests by the Fall Festival Committee are to waive business license fees for vendors in the park, exclusive use of Pioneer Park, Dinsmore Park, Barrington Park, and the L.J. Newman Building for their event, waive permit to have alcohol in Pioneer Park, authorize the use of the entire park as a beer garden, which has been approved by ABC in past years, Public Works assistance with park maintenance, and waive all associated police service fees. All sworn police officers do attend this event and work it, including reserves and our school resource officer. We will fully staff this again, and even though the Fall Festival has asked that we waive police fees, we have charged them in the past, and it is staff's recommendation that we continue to invoice those fees. The staff report is submitted for your consideration and action. Answer any questions that you may have.
Any questions? Lieutenant Shorten?
Do we have to accept the report?
Yeah. I move that we accept the report with the request stated, with the addition of the service fees for the police department.
I'll second that.
Okay. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carried 4 with 1 absent.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Item C would be adopt resolution number 2017, next number, resolution of the City Council of the City of Newman adopting a revised emergency operation plan for the City of Newman.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. In front of you is a resolution to adopt a revised copy of the City of Newman's Emergency Operations Plan. The Emergency Operation Plan addresses the plan response to extraordinary emergency situations associated with natural or man-made disasters and national security emergencies in or affecting the City of Newman. The Emergency Operations Plan serves as the basis for response as well as recovery efforts and activities within the city. The Emergency Operations Plan is based on the National Incident Management System and its components, along with the California Standard Emergency Management System, including the 5 functional areas of incident or event management. Those are operational coordination, planning, logistical support, and finance and administrative support. The Emergency Operations Plan also identifies emergency support functions that represent core emergency response categories performed by departments with primary and supporting responsibilities within the city. These may include public or non-government organizations. Changes to the plan included clarification of titles and positions, address changes, and modification of emergency support function detailed descriptions. Staff recommends the council adopt resolution number 2017, next in number, a resolution of the City Council of the City of Newman adopting a revised emergency operations plan for the City of Newman. I can answer any questions you have.
Any questions of Chief? Being none, bring it back to the council for direction.
I'd like to just add to the chief's comments. This all came about as a result of the Oakland Hills fire a number of years ago. The emergency response people from all over the community, all over the area, came together, and they found out they couldn't hook up their hoses because they were all different sizes, and their trucks wouldn't work with the pressures that were in the system and that kind of thing. And so what Stanislaus County has done is kind of set the pathway for the rest of the state in setting up this National Emergency Management System, the NIMS, and these emergency preparedness plans. I've been involved in this for about 5 years now, and it's quite an extensive program. It doesn't sound like much, it just sounds like, more bureaucracy. But in fact, what it's done is coordinated police radio and their coordinations, fire departments and their coordinations, and radio control, and set up incident management people from the city who will be responsible for various activities, public works, city manager, accounting, and various things. So this is really an important document for us to incorporate in our city, and I encourage the council to give a positive input here.
Good job putting it together.
Thank you.
Excellent.
And with that,
I move that we adopt resolution 2017, next number, a resolution of the City Council of the City of Newman adopting a revised emergency operations plan for the City of Newman.
And I'll second that.
okay, a motion's been made and seconded. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
I oppose. A motion carried 4 with 1 absent. Thank you very much, Chief. Okay, item 11, items from District 5 Stanislaus County Supervisor, Mr. Jim D. Martini. Welcome, Jim. How about Thursday? Big day, huh?
Yes, that's right. Good evening, Mayor Martina, members of the council. Yes, our West Side Healthcare Task Force Health Summit is just a couple of days away. It will be Thursday. This time it will be in the evening rather than the afternoon. We're trying something different this time. We thought that people that are working would have an easier time coming to it if it's 5 o'clock. So the Ag Commissioner is coming out with this scale. This will be certified weights, and he'll be ready at 4:30. So we can weight the teams anytime from 4:30 on. We'd like to have everybody weighed no later than 5:30, and then after the weigh-in, we will start our program. We have 11 vendors also inside the theater. These would be health organizations, parks and recreation, health and fitness companies, that sort of thing. We have a health and fitness theme to it. And our speaker is Dr. John Walker. He's just a recently retired public health officer. He's just a really great guy, good speaker, and he'll have a PowerPoint presentation on, let's say, healthy people and a healthy Stanislaus. That's what he calls it. I thought that was kind of cute. So anyway, we're looking forward to the event. I think this is our 9th one. We also like to take the time to thank City of Newman for allowing us to use the West Side Theater. It's just a perfect venue for this event. And it's a free event. We will have some food there and a program, vendors, and kind of the weigh-in is kind of a festive event, so everybody's welcome and there's no cost to it. Also, we do have our West Side Walks going on at the same time, and they are at Wednesdays around the high school track from 6 to 8 o'clock. Concurrently, we also have the same thing going on in the city of Gustine and on Thursday evenings in the city of Patterson. So that's if you want to get some exercise, you go at your own pace, you walk around the track as many times as you like. We have a walk wheel that we have provided. You keep track of your laps, just for your own record. And then at the end of the summer, when we stop, if you turn that in, the City Hall, we have a drawing, and then we give away some gifts from Stewart and Jasper for participation. I also say the Health Summit is also, let's say, 2 months earlier than we've had it in the past. And we used to have it just before the Fall Festival, but I know there was a lot of scrambling around as you needed the theater the next day for part of the festival. So we've just moved it a couple of months, and we think this is going to be better, and then also moved it to the evening. We have 6 teams, so good luck in the teams there. We're going to call everybody tomorrow to be sure everybody's on board. And we will weigh out on August 24th in Gustine, in Miller Park. Okay, that's all I have this evening, unless you have a question for me.
Thank you, Supervisor. I think it's going to be an exciting evening. I think that in the past, like I think Jim has said, we've had it during like noon time, and it's hard a lot of times for people to spend any time there because they have to get back to work. So we'll see.
That's why we're trying it in the evening. I know a lot of people had to be work at 1 o'clock, so they couldn't even finish hearing the speaker. And so, by the way, I know Mayor Martina is going to welcome everybody. The Mayor of Patterson, Deborah Novelli, is going to be there and introduce our speaker. And Joe Oliveira, the Mayor Pro Tem of Gustine, will also speak for just briefly there. So, anyway, look forward to seeing you there.
I think it'll be a great evening.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Jim. Okay, item 12, item from city manager and staff.
Thank you, Mayor. So tonight is our Public Works Director, Mr. Kim's last evening with us. He has taken the Deputy Director position with the City of Manteca, so he's going back to where he belongs. I wanted to thank him for his dedication over the last several years. You know, he's worked on that community, the CRS program that's helped lower our flood insurance for a lot of our residents in town. He's done a lot of regulatory compliance stuff for us, especially with relation to stormwater, and he's led the charge in terms of getting us a new water well and tank and some of those projects that are going on. So I wanted to thank him for his service for the last several years. Thank you.
Yes, thank you.
Number 2, Fig Lane, you saw it on the nuisance abatements tonight. I know our city attorney is still reaching out to the property owners to try to get this matter resolved and see if that's a matter with which they'd like to sell that property. We have not heard back from them yet, but we're continuing to reach out to them as much as possible. So. On behalf of Chairman Brazil, Chairman of the Gustine Fireworks Committee, he wanted to tell you he's sorry he couldn't attend tonight. He got stuck at work, but he wanted to thank you for your donation to the Gustine Fireworks Show. It's a good program. You know, I know a lot of Newman residents actually go over there and watch, so I think it was a nice donation on your behalf to their show. Just a reminder that City Hall will be closed next Tuesday, which is 4th of July. Happy Independence Day to all of you. And then lastly, there's many people out there who like the illegal fireworks. We are really stepping up enforcement this year. We will be issuing $500 fines if you get caught with it. Even if you do not light it, but you're having the party, the property owner will get cited. $500 every single time, and we will try to confiscate those. They're very dangerous. We've had a lot of fires in the past, and we're taking a zero tolerance towards it this year. So if you have illegal fireworks, go ahead and take them to Gustine and fire them off over there with their fireworks show, because you're going to get caught here in town. So. With that, I can answer any questions that the council may have.
I have a quick question. Is there an offer that we can offer Kim that he cannot refuse?
You can move Newman closer to his home.
I just want to
Yeah, he goes
thank,
to it.
yeah, I just wanted to thank him so much for his service.
Yeah, thank
And
you.
it kind of hurt my heart. I just, met the guy, and he's just a wonderful person in general. And we will miss you, Kim. God
you.
bless you, man.
Thank you.
I had a couple questions.
Sure.
I know it was before my time, but when you guys were on the development on Hills Ferry by Sherman Park, the
Yeah.
dense housing, when they were developing that, I recall, wasn't there supposed to be trees?
Yes, there's a plan. They're
front of
developing
that?
the plan
'Cause I
right
don't-
now, and
Yes, so there were a number of conditions for when they did a restructuring of the map and they lowered their density. And
Right.
one of the concerns was traffic along Hills Ferry. So we are working with them right now. We've tentatively identified a species of tree. We're just consulting with a local landscaping company to make sure that there's no issues with it before it gets put in, We just want to make sure we don't accidentally
Right.
get stuck with a bad kind of tree. Other things that they did was like minimum setback from Hills Ferry, which was 30 feet. The restriping to kind of help discourage cars from going too close to the right.
Right.
We're also doing the Merced pedestrian project next fiscal year, the year after, which will do the bike lanes, and the center lane will be relocated, and that'll all help to decrease traffic potential traffic
Right.
issues. Yep.
so those trees should be installed shortly. We just
Yeah.
had to make, because of the overhead utilities, we had to make
Right.
sure we got the right trees. So,
Yeah,
yes.
I was just concerned about that because I thought that was one of the
It is.
the
You-
stipulations for it to protect
You're correct.
road cars. The other thing is, can we look into revisiting the pool, the aquatic center, potentially for the 2018 general election, and maybe start looking at putting committees together to start
Sure.
re-exploring and seeing what we need to do and get community outreach?
You do have a council subcommittee for that aquatic center. If that's something that the council so desires, we could get that subcommittee back together with staff, talk about some of the data that came out of the last election, see about if there's any modifications that need to be made to a potential measure that could be submitted in November of 18, and then come back to the full council. So if that's something that the council desires, staff would be more than willing to work with you on it.
I think we'd like that.
Michael, question on Hills Ferry where they built the new homes, whatever you want to call them. The parking along there, is there going to be restrictions as far as the parking? As far as, I can understand people wanting to park there during the day, but I just can't see people parking there every day, all 24 hours a day. What I'm saying is there a way to keep those cars off the road?
Well, right now, the way it's currently signaged
Yes.
is there's no truck parking, and there's no parking along the Hills Ferry frontage of that project from 2 a.m. to 5 a.m.
3 hours.
for those 3 hours. So that's kind of keeping the overnight parking from happening.
Okay.
And that was something that the council desired in the past. Now, we heard a resident in the public non-agenda items ask us to review that. So we can work with the police department and talk to them a little bit about it and bring something back to you in July that looks at what are the options there.
My real concern is, if we don't restrict that parking some way, that's actually a bicycle lane there. And I'm just saying,
When we stripe it, the way you do a striping on that particular case, you would have the parking area and then you would have the bike lane outside of that.
it just pushes those bikers, people out farther into the street.
Correct.
Yeah.
So,
Thank you.
yeah, we'll bring back multiple options to you guys and see what you want to do.
I think now's the time to look at it rather than
Sure.
later.
Okay.
Well, even a permit, like I think there's some areas in some cities that, due to how the homes are situated, like he stated that his front door is on that street, and it doesn't allow him to park. And I think that, as a taxpayer, he should have the option of parking his car. So I would think that maybe if there's a situation where those residents who live there in that area would have a permit, like a parking permit to park in front of their home would be maybe a suggestion for them.
Sure, we'll include that as one of the options that we bring back to you in July for you to choose from.
Thank you.
That was all I had for you. Thank you, Mike.
Okay,
Anything else?
that's all for me, Mayor.
I'm sorry, Michael.
I said that's all for me.
That was a lot.
Do we need to give you an answer on the, Mayor kind of jumped back to the Hills Ferry
Oh,
from
for
the
for the
pool?
pool, yeah. If you'd like, we could do
I'm
it.
sure the consensus of the council is that 2018, we're
Yes.
going to do it, one way or the other.
Okay. So I don't recall who sat on the, Mayor, I think it was yourself and
Nick.
Candia that sat on the subcommittee before.
Yeah.
So I don't know if you want to continue to sit on that. Do we want to bring new people in? I don't know what your time commitment is. How do we want to handle that?
I'm
You
fine
wanna
with
just-
whatever
you
whatever
just
the
want us to bring
council
it-
would like to do.
We can bring it back to just the full council. We don't have to go to subcommittee.
I think the full council makes more sense.
Okay.
Mhm.
And then we don't have to wonder about what the other person's thinking. We're going to know.
Sure. Well, I'll tell you what we'll do is, why don't we, in July, we'll bring back a process with some dates on it for you to look at. Okay, these are some milestones that need to be achieved if you want to have something on the November 2018 ballot. This would be the timeline for putting it on there, and these would be the steps that the council would need to go through in order to get there. And so we'll lay out the process.
We have to meet certain requirements for the.
Correct.
For the,
Put the measure on the ballot.
Yes.
Correct. So we'll lay out the process and the timeline for that, and we'll bring that to you hopefully in July, if not first thing in August. Okay.
Thank you, Mike. And with that, Chief?
Good evening again. Thank you. First off, I'd like to thank you guys all for your support of the police department and continuing to support these officers at their swearing-in ceremonies. I know it means a lot to them and their families to get up in front of the public and have a special event other than swearing them in and just throwing them on the streets with an FTO. So thank you for that. Like the city manager said, we're coming up on the 4th of July, so we encourage everyone to celebrate safely and sane. Buy your fireworks from these local stands, help support, the organizations that are selling them instead of lighting off the aerial fireworks that could land you a hefty fine. And, always designate a driver if you're gonna partake in alcoholic beverages. So with that, be happy to answer any questions.
Just tell your officers, without them, this city would not be the same. We wouldn't be able to sleep at night.
Will do. Thank you.
And Stephanie?
Nothing
How's the
tonight.
skate park?
It's fine. No, if you have any questions of me, I'm happy to answer, but I don't have anything to present.
Well, I guess I'm going to go right back to something we discussed before. How's it coming along in reference to the cracks and those things that we talked about earlier?
Sure. So we've actually done some research and contacted a third party as well as the manufacturer of the precast concrete elements. And we pulled information out of the owner's manual and did some comparative inspections of another project that was built at the same time. So it was a really good comparison. And we found that they are considered within reasonable thresholds for the concrete standards. We consulted Spawn Ranches, who made the manufactured pieces, and they said they gave us specific measurements for widths, and they said that as long as you don't have differential gaps and you don't have more than 1/8 of an inch wide crack, then they recommend that you just don't mess with it, that you just need to monitor it. If you start seeing a lot of chipping, a lot of spalling, you could use a polyurethane sealant. They recommend no epoxy. But other than that, it's considered pretty normal for concrete. The funny thing is here in Newman, we've got a lot of clay. So we have expansive soils, and the soil does this. So with concrete, that's kind of hard on concrete. It's sometimes you're going to get cracks. The project that we compared it with is actually on much better soil, and they have the same, if not worse, cracking. And it's just kind of the nature of concrete, unfortunately. Could there have been other things? Maybe, but this other project actually used additional tools to help cure the concrete, and they have the same issue as us. So at this point, it would be very difficult to make a case with the contractor to rip out the concrete and re-pour it, because it's within acceptable thresholds.
Well, let me say this, as a former construction management who basically monitor construction sites. When a contractor pours cement and he has cracks within 6 months of the project, he should be responsible for coming back and taking care of those cracks, even though they might be in the threshold. But you're talking about 3-4 years down the road, leaving it like it is, where he's off the hook, and there's nothing that can be done because he's gone. So I guess what all I'm suggesting is that before the damage, really start to occur, I think that he needs to have some type of responsibilities of sealing those, even if you're talking about sealing, putting a coating on top, he should be the one to come back and take care of that.
Yeah, council member, there is a warranty period for which the contractor is responsible, so we will, throughout this process and throughout the warranty, we will be documenting all of these cracks and any changes that occur. And then prior to the warranty period expiring, we will be walking the project again with the contractor to see where those cracks are at.
Right.
And we'll be walking with our engineers to make sure that whatever's allowable by us and by whatever our legal advisors and our engineers are telling us, we'll go after them if they're telling us that the cracks are not acceptable.
So, in other words, our engineers for the city are very comfortable with the situation.
At this point in time, our engineers are telling us it's within an acceptable range. And we even had a third-party engineer, the city engineer from the city of Turlock, come over and look at them and tell us the same thing, because theirs is the same way. So we have a report that it's still in draft form that we're preparing for you. We've documented everything with all of our findings in it. So we hope to be sharing that with you shortly.
Okay. Thank you.
I got nothing tonight.
Nothing?
No, I talked enough.
Great job, Lou.
Lou, better than great job. Wonderful job.
Thank you.
Good evening.
You know something?
Yeah,
We're gonna miss you.
Yeah.
You bring so much to the table. I just can't thank you for all the years that you've given to the city of Newman.
Thank you for your support. It's been a great honor to serve this beautiful
No,
community
and
over for
you
almost 4
always look
years.
spick and span, and you look.
Yeah.
You set an example for all of us. But
Yeah, thank you. Thank you
we
for your
wish you nothing
support.
but the best on your
Yeah.
future.
When I joined the city, it's a small community, but I was kind of shocked to meet a lot of good people here, because I came from Bay Area. I never seen that people say hi on the street, every single corner. I was shocked. I was very confused because everybody say hi, hello, how are you? That's all about city of Newman. Newman community is a jewel in the Central Valley of California. I learned a lot, especially great support from the council. That's a key for the small community, because there's a good trust and support, understanding each other. I think that's the best, the knowledge and all kind of experience I gained in this beautiful community. And special thanks to all the staff, especially city manager, my boss, who hired me, and I learned a lot, and all the great leadership. So even though I'm leaving the city, it's just because of family, but still I'm going to continue to work on some project with Newman Rotary Clubs. It's not ending, it's almost ongoing. So I will have a great chance to stop by here in the near future.
Good.
So
Good.
again, thank you for your support. Thank you for everything. Appreciate it.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Anybody have any questions? Okay, Fire Chief.
All right, so we'll continue with the whole safety theme. 4th of July is coming. I recommend everyone use safe practices while using fireworks. They are dangerous. It's not uncommon to see injuries from fireworks, including burns and/or loss of limbs. So don't relight fireworks. Keep maybe a bucket of water near you, and always let an adult light your fireworks. And again, we're discouraging the use of illegal fireworks. I can answer any questions you might have.
Any questions? Thank you very much. Casey, anything for us tonight?
I'd just like to thank you again, Kassoon, for your service to the community. Greatly appreciated. You're going to be missed. Good luck on your new venture and with your family closer to home.
Thank you.
That'll be nice, but we are going to miss you. And
Thank you.
other than that, not a whole lot. Happy birthday to America.
Happy birthday.
Well, that's for sure. Leroy?
This is for Keith. Do we have a hotline in reference to complaints or, let's say, for instance, someone is using illegal fireworks or things of that nature? Or even like from time to time we hear gunfire that's going off in the area.
So there are emergency and non-emergency numbers. That's going to be dependent on your situation. If you feel it's emergent in any way, you can dial 911. There are non-emergency numbers posted on our website, or you can contact us. If you contact the fire station directly, just understand there may be a delay in response.
I can give you Keith's number. I can do that. Hang on, I'll put it out to everybody.
I knew that was coming. It's on the website.
You giving the chief's number out?
It's personal.
Oh.
Personal? Which chief? Police
Randy.
chief or the fire chief?
Randy.
I'll be sleeping, so give Randy's. Remember?
My number's easy to remember, 911.
Thank you so much. Murray, anything for us tonight?
No, thank you much.
Yeah, Kassoon, we can't thank you enough for all you've done for the city, and we certainly wish you well in your new life. And don't forget about us, because we're not going to forget about you.
Right.
Thank
You
you.
left your mark, and that's.
Thank
and,
you.
You made Newman a better place. So when you walk away, you'll know that you've accomplished something. But thank you very much for all your service to Newman.
Thank you.
And with that, I'd like to ask for adjournment. So move.
Second.
Okay, a motion is made and second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
We are adjourned. Thanks, everyone.
Levy's not here.
Look at this.